And our fourth main topic today gets sent in to us by DigiTel and DigiTel writes, "Hey, John and crew. So, the UK Film Classification Board, the BBFC, has given The Batman a 15 rating and not an expected 12A, equivalent of PG-13. This has the UK theater owners in an uproar, demanding a reclassification or to create a brand new 15A rating for the film. Ironically, the BBFC created the 12 rating in 1989 for Tim Burton's Batman, as it was deemed too violent for a PG rating. What say you, John?" All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yes, not only is Batman battling for the soul of Gotham City, we have movie theaters battling for the right for children to be able to come in and see the Batman. Fighting for children's rights everywhere to go and see the Batman. Now, yes, I remember this came up a couple weeks ago. It was interesting to find out that while Batman did get a PG-13 rating here in the US, it got a 15 in the UK. Now, this is significant, actually. And let's jump over for a second and take a look into the Campea classroom here about just a couple of quick things, okay? Now, I'm not from the UK, but basically it's this. Okay, so PG...
You're from a Commonwealth country.
I'm from a Commonwealth, that's right. God save the Queen. PG-13 basically means in the US, anybody can go. Anybody can go. They recommend parental guidance in letting kids go, or something along. What's the difference between PG and PG-13? Isn't PG-13 just kind of like a stronger warning, like, or just under 13 you can't get in without a parent? I can't remember exactly.
I think it's more of a warning.
I think the parents buy you popcorn at PG, and then at PG-13 you can.
You're old enough to buy your own.
I don't know.
So now in the U.S. there's then R rating, but R rating, anyone can still go if they're with a parent
or guardian
or adult or whatever, right? So an R-rated film in the US doesn't mean anything. If you're 12 and you want to go see an R-rated movie, you can still get into an R-rated movie if you are with an adult. If you're with a parent or a guardian or an adult or whatever, you can still go. So an R rating in the US doesn't really stop anybody from seeing the movie. Unless, you know, the kids whose parents won't take them, well, then you're kind of a little bit out of luck. Now, in the UK, it's a little bit different because a 15 rating means this. If you're under 15, you cannot get in, even with an adult. So in many ways, the 15 rating is in some ways stricter than an R rating here in the US. Because if you're 14 years old and there's an R-rated movie, hey, if your big cousin or your dad or whatever thinks, yeah, my kid can watch Deadpool, well, then you're able to go. A 14-year-old here can go to an R-rated movie and see a movie under a certain circumstance. But in the UK, if your movie gets a 15, then you got to be over 15 to get in.
Wow.
14-year-olds, 13-year-olds, you cannot come in and see this movie. So the Batman in the UK has gotten, despite the fact that it got a PG-13 here, the Batman in the UK got a 15 instead of what they were expecting it or hoping it would get, which is the lower rating. Now, this has caused a bit of a problem for movie theater owners because movie theater owners in the UK want them kiddies coming to see Batman. And they are actually, there's a movie theater chain here. Let me bring this up here in the story. Actually, did I bring up a side for this? I did. This comes to us from The Independent, who write the following. A cinema chain owner, this is in Northern Ireland, has launched a bid to overturn the 15 age rating for the new Batman movie. Michael McAdam, managing director of the movie house chain in Northern Ireland, said cinema staff had faced abuse from parents in recent years because younger teenage children are not permitted to watch movies with a 15 classification. So basically, the problem they've been having is with this 15 classification, there are some movies that parents come and drop off their kids to go see, and the theater says, no, we can't let your kids in unless you come into the movie with them. And the parents, well, but I don't want, I'm trying to get a break from my stupid kid. I don't want to come in and watch this movie with them. They're saying too bad, and they're worried about getting a lot of reactions for that for the Batman. Let's go back to the quote here. because younger teenage children are not permitted to watch those movies with the 15 classification. He said a new 15A classification would allow parents to make the decision and accompany their children to the cinema. The 15A classification is not offered in the UK, and the British Board of Film Classifications, the BBFC, has given the Batman starring Robert Pattinson a 15 rating. So basically is this. What this movie theater chain is trying to do is get a brand new classification that doesn't exist for them. Instead of a 15, make it a 15A, which basically means if you're under 15, you can still come, but you got to be accompanied by an adult, which basically puts it more on par with PG-13, a little bit of a mix in between an R and a PG-13. Now, one of the other things that they point out is that if you're in Northern Ireland, you're part of the UK, there's this 15 thing. But in the Republic of Ireland, just across the border from them, they do have a 15A. So this movie theater owner is going, look, you're making it rated 15. All somebody's got to do now is drive 45 minutes across the border and they can go take their kids to go see the Batman. In another country that's right over the border. Give us the ability to let parents decide to come to the movie and bring their kids with them. Because as it stands, parents can't bring their 14-year-old to come see Batman. And the movie theaters want the parents to be able to do that. Now, before anybody jumps into the censorship argument, this is not censorship. Making sure parents get to decide what their kids can and cannot see is not censorship. But this is a movie that in North America has a much more lenient PG-13 rating on it. Right across the border from them, other movie theaters have 15A, which is allowing parents to bring their young teenagers. And they're just saying we want the same shot. So this is interesting. Rob, let me ask you this. It made me wonder, could the MPA, is Batman truly a movie that maybe should have gotten an R rating? And the MPA is just saying, hey, Warner Brothers is one of our founding members and they need this movie to be PG-13. I mean, could this be suggesting that either A, the UK board is just too strict, or is it B, that the North American rating might be a little bit too light? Like, how heavy do you think this movie could be? And do you think these movie theaters should be able to let parents come and bring their kids to it?
I have this vision of some industrious 14-year-old Northern Irish kids going, once again, we're under the jackbooted rule of our British oppressors. And you will not deny us, Batman. I think that John, I wonder what the rating Joker got. I don't know. Was it also 15?
Well, it was R here. I'm going to assume it would have been at least 15 over there.
I think that probably maybe the PG-13 rating was perhaps too lenient. I don't know. Judging by the level of ferocity we've seen in the movie, I mean...
By the way, I'm just going to point out that a couple of our viewers, including Virtual Vince and Chazer and Shamuri, are all telling us that, yes, in the UK, Joker got a 15 rating as well. So this Batman movie is getting the same rating that the Joker movie got over there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's no blood squibs in this movie, but the violence looks pretty extreme.
Yeah.
So, could be. I mean... You know, what's really interesting is I think it speaks to the fact that there is a perception amongst a lot of people that these comic book characters are for kids. And when we have filmmakers like James Mangold making a Logan, or, you know, we have Todd Phillips making Joker, and now we've got Matt Reeves making Batman, that they're taking these characters into territory that is not traditionally what we think of these characters as being in. And I, for one, as a film goer, I'm really happy about that. But, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't necessarily think I'd want like a kid who's 8 years old seeing this Batman movie. But I think that is it R-rated? I don't know. I mean, I have to see it first. But maybe PG-13 is too lenient. Then again, you know, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Mola Ram rips out a dude's beating heart.
Yep.
You know, I mean, now, what is it? What
How more graphic can you get than that?
What are we protecting people from? I mean, the thing is, you know, this is still a Batman movie. And in someone's head, like if kids are going to be scarred for life by something, I mean, a Batman movie is different from, say, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So the intent and tone is different. I mean, in our minds, Batman's brutal too. Like when Batman fights dudes, he's not doing it in a nice way. He's beating the hell out of them, you know, and we don't expect.
He's not doing it in a nice way.
I mean, you know, when he fights criminals, it's not like the criminals are nice. It's such a weird thing. Like it's a tonal issue, but what are we actually saying to kids? Like, hey, if you're 14, you can't go see this movie. But if your birthday's next week, somehow you have changed. Your mind has developed. Now that you're a 15-year-old, my God, you're a man or you're a woman, and you can go see the Batman. We do that with
driver's licenses and drinking ages and when you can go to war. I mean, there's always that. But here's my problem with it. This is the problem I've got with this.
I still want 14-year-olds to rise up against their
parental oppressors
for Batman.
But here's my problem with it. What I don't understand. See, here in North America, our rating means that if you're a parent, and I am not, but if you're a parent, you get to decide if your kid can or cannot see that movie. So if you want to bring your 14-year-old kid to go see Deadpool or go see, what is it called? What was the Dolly Parton movie called? The Greatest Little Whorehouse in Texas, the remake. If you want to take your kid to go see that, that is your choice as a parent. We are simply giving you ratings to advise you as a parent of what you can expect in this movie.
What's a whorehouse, Mom?
Yeah, that's a conversation they don't want to have on the drive home. So, like, I like the idea that the movie theaters in the UK are saying, create a new classification called 15A.
I agree.
That a parent decides. Now, I get it. For the super hardcore stuff, we even have a rating here, NC-17, that no. We are just not letting kids, and we don't care if you're the parent or not. I get that for the most extreme circumstances. But I think these theater owners are absolutely right. For a movie like The Batman, give the parent the option to bring their kid and watch it with them. And then it's the parent's decision and the parent's responsibility. So I don't know. It's interesting to me. It will be very interesting to see how this kind of works out in over there. Because obviously, too, there's big financial ramifications here, right? Because you're the movie theaters. You've been struggling through the pandemic. Thank God Spider-Man No Way Home came along. But we need to follow that up now. And we've got this next big movie, The Batman. And by making it so these kids can't come unless they bring their parents with them. Or sorry, these kids can't come at all. Like kids 14 and under cannot see The Batman. That's going to represent 15% of our box office.
Right.
Gone. Like that. So this is pretty interesting here. If you're a government official over there right now, do you get behind, because apparently the government has to get behind this. Do you endorse the creating of a 15A, or do you make them reclassify to the 12A?
I think 15A is a good compromise. If they have it in the Republic of Ireland, why not allow parents to decide?
In Northern Ireland, yeah.
That's what you're doing. Northern Ireland.
No, you're right. In the Republic of Ireland, they have the 15A. In the Northern Ireland,
why not? I mean, I think that allowing parents to decide, and you're talking about the difference between 14 and 15-year-olds. I mean, I'll tell you something, John. The first time I saw The Exorcist, I was 13, and I got it on tape. I was perhaps too young to see it. It scared me even at 13. Yep. There was a reason why that movie was R-rated, and rightfully so. But The Batman, tonally, what the movie's actually about, really, is a 14-year-old going to be scarred for life for seeing this movie? I don't think so. Make it a 15A. Let parents decide, and you might stop a 14-year-old uprising in Northern Ireland from against British rule.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this situation going on over there in the UK about movie theater owners want to get a new classification? So, 14, 13 kids can go and see The Batman if they come with their parents. I think it makes sense what they're trying to do. How do you guys feel about it? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, we want to take a minute and thank the sponsor of today's video, the good folks at Keeps. Now look, you guys probably already know that 2 out of every 3 men will experience some form of hair loss by the time they're just 35 years old. Now that's where Keeps comes in, because Keeps has more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors. That means the guys that use it love it. Keeps offers a simple, affordable, and stress-free way to keep your hair. It's also low cost. Treatments start as low as just $10 per month, and Keeps offers generic versions for the 2 FDA-approved medications to prevent hair loss. That means treatment plans are affordable, typically half the cost of pharmacy prices. Keeps has everything your hair needs delivered straight to your door with discreet packaging and proven results. Remember, prevention is the key. Treatments can take 4 to 6 months to see results, so the sooner you act, the better. When it comes to your hair, save more, spend less with Keeps. So if you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to Keeps, that's KEEPS.com/Campea to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's Keeps, KEEPS.com/Campea to get your first month free. Keeps.com/Campea.